All right, well, we will go ahead and get started here. So we are just a couple minutes after 2. So thank you guys for logging on today with us for our webinar. So today's webinar is a deep dive into the Member Information Center. It's also kind of a 101 at the same time, so never fear if you've never logged in before. We'll start at the beginning. But my name is Jessica Linder, and I'm the Executive Director of the Galesburg Area Chamber of Commerce. And I'm really excited to be able to be showing you guys this resource today. So we launched the Member Information Center about 1.5 years ago to our members. So it's still fairly new for everyone. And every time we open it up, I know we find 3 new buttons and 3 new features. So as we go through this today, just know that I say this just to illustrate that truly there is no silly question or dumb question or bad question. If you're thinking it, someone else probably is too. So feel free to ask. So during this session, I want to just encourage everybody to be using that chat feature. So there is a little chat bubble with 3 dots on it that should be at the bottom of your screen in your toolbar there. Feel free, that's where just click that and drop into the chat, ask any questions you have. And as we get started here, I'm going to ask everybody to just introduce themselves so we know who's on with us. So if you could drop in there and just tell us your name and maybe the company that you're with. I also want to know what you're really hoping to get out of today, or if you have a burning question that you were looking to learn in today's webinar, the reason you clicked, go ahead and put that in there and we will get to all of the questions is my hope, and absolutely as many as time allows today. So while you're dropping in there and adding a few things, I'll just make a couple other notes for us. So like I said, there's no bad question here. There's so much to discover, so just ask it. Another note that this is going to be a PowerPoint-less session. Created that word today, but it's going to be hands-on. So if you do have 2 screens, I'd really encourage you to maybe put the webinar in one and open the Member Information Center in the other, especially if you are a kinesthetic learner like myself. It'll probably help to click around along with us. And then after today's session, so we are recording the session, we'll be able to send that out along with some other notes, and we have some other how-to videos on the Member Information Center that get specific into individual topics as well. So no PowerPoint today, but definitely doesn't mean there won't be some follow-up and some good takeaways, so never fear. So let's see, what are people looking for? So it looks like I've got just interested in learning a little bit more about it. That's great. And so if any specific questions come up as we go, just drop it in there. So I'll try and cover as much as possible. So just to start us off, before we even get into the Member Information Center, that's kind of our starting point, is how do we get to it? So right here is our Galesburg Area Chamber of Commerce website, so galesburg.org. So if you go to the homepage, it's very simple to find your login spot if you haven't already. So from this homepage, you can just scroll straight down, and down here you have this nice little member login area. You can also click on membership, and your bottom option is member login. So when you go to log in, you'll go ahead and put your username. For most people, it's their email address, unless you've set it otherwise. So you'll go ahead and enter your email address in that username box. And then your password is one that you set. If you don't know what your password is, you can always feel free to reach out to us. We can reset that pretty easily. There's also this forgot username or password button, and it'll let you reset it yourself. So pretty easy to get into. And once you hit submit, you'll find yourself on this page here, which is the Member Information Center. So inside the MIC, just want to get a lay of the land, kind of familiarize you with this homepage before we start diving into the details of it. As you log in, there's always going to be this main message here that updates periodically. If it's your first time logging in, this is the one you'll see, or if you haven't read it yet, it'll still be there. So this is kind of the welcome message, just telling you a little bit more about the Member Information Center. And once you've read it, or if you want to save it for later, you just click this Read Later button, and it'll save itself to your messages here. On this homepage, the other spot I really want to point out is this little box over here on the right. So mine shows upcoming events, which yours will as well. If you have any open invoices with the chamber or any outstanding balance, there'll be a little box right above that upcoming events that'll show your balance that you can click through to settle that online if you wish, or just to pull the invoices. So that area is always kind of a good snapshot of what's coming up. Right now, the webinar you're on is there, and it changes as events come. So last week, you probably saw our Dine and Develop event. If you log in tomorrow, you'll see Business After Hours. So there's always an upcoming event there. And then as you scroll down is the social feed here. So this is kind of social, as it says. So this is kind of the Facebook or the LinkedIn type piece of the Member Information Center. So you can see updates that others are posting. Scroll through here and see that Rhonda uploaded a press release. I posted in here yesterday, just reminding people about the webinar. So it's a spot to interact and just see what other members are uploading and putting in the Member Information Center. So I'm gonna, as we go through this, take you through really two main sections and then show you some of the other features as well. So the main sections we're gonna take you through today are your settings and then really the marketing tools that lie within the Member Information Center. So I'll start you out really basic with the personal information. So you've got these shortcuts on the side, which are pretty much everything that we'll go through today. Those are going to be your most used sections. You can also find them up top. So all of the setting features are also here. So we'll click on settings, and it'll take us right into our personal information. So for anybody that has multiple users or multiple employees at their business, there's going to be separate logins. So your personal information really is your information about you, and all of the settings are a little different. So if you're the marketing person, you have a little bit different permission settings in here than say the billing person at your organization. So you may not be able to go in and access the saved credit cards or bank accounts, but you can go in and update all of the profile information that shows out to the website. And someone else that has a more basic user profile, they're really only going to be able to update their own information and register for events. So you can change what different people can access within here. Know that as well. So in the personal information, just a few spots to highlight. So this first page is your basic info, just kind of where you are. One section I like to point out is your address and your info here. So especially important if you are maybe in a different office than the main office, if you're at a satellite location or a branch location and you have a different mailing address than the main business, make sure you fill that out so that we can get mail to you when we send things out. The second piece is the username and password here in the drop down. So if you ever want to change your password, this is the spot to do it. You can also change your username. So just kind of a handy section to know where it is. And then these other ones are going to start to update any of the pieces that show out to the rest of the members and even onto our website. So I highly encourage you to upload a photo of yourself. I think people sometimes feel a little silly adding it into there, but it really does make it more interactive. You saw in that social feed, being able to see Rhonda's photo next to her update or see mine with, just puts a face to the name when you're scrolling through seeing who's been putting things in. So I encourage you to do that. The groups and interests section is one that is going to be really helpful for communicating with the chamber. So we have several different email lists that we use and different communication pieces. This is where you have some control over what communications you're getting from us. So say you really love getting This Week at the Chamber, you want to see what's coming up the week ahead every Monday, but maybe you're not as interested in advocacy alerts. You can go ahead and just uncheck that. And then instead of trying to unsubscribe from everything, you can still get This Week at the Chamber, which is what you really wanted, or the e-blasts or the newsletter. So you have a lot of control here. I'm going to go ahead and leave mine as everything. So I'll save my changes because I want to see everything from the chamber. So I'll leave it that way. Your social networks. are also available in here. And I'll show you, when I show you in a couple minutes, really kind of the profile in our member directory, I'll show you what the impact of this is. But if you have social networks you want people to know about, you can upload them here. Mine, for example, I have my LinkedIn. That's really the only professional social media I use. So I'm fine having that one up. I've left the others blank. So you can leave them all blank, fill them all in. It's totally your preference. Then in display preferences, this is where you control who sees what information about you. So I'm going to take a second here and show you the front end of our website where anyone on the internet can find it. So I'm back on galesburg.org. And when I say you're listing in the member directory, this is what I'm talking about. So on our website, there's a section here called this member directory where people can search. So they can search by keyword, they can search by location, they can click just alphabetically, or they can come down here and search by category. So let's say that someone's looking for business services, and they can click on the category, and all of our members that have opted into that category are going to show up. So it is a randomized search, so it's not alphabetical. It'll flop it around every time who's popping up at the top. But know that the most information and the most enhanced listings are always going to pull a little bit closer to the top. So a little bit of incentive for getting in here and really filling things out. So it'll pull multiple businesses, and we'll go ahead and click on the chamber as our example. So once you get in here, the representative information is the section I'm talking about now. So on our website, in my preferences, I've set the public information to be my name, my job title, and my work phone. Internally, here where people are logged in inside the Member Information Center, I'm fine with showing other members more information. So I'm also showing them that LinkedIn profile and the email address. So you have control here on what's on the website. Maybe you don't want to show it all out on the website, but you want to show your information to members. This is where you set that and can change and clear it. So this section I would encourage especially your managers, your directors within your business to make sure you have filled out so that if you want several people out on the website, this is really where you can control that. So moving out of the personal information, we'll jump into the company information here next in account settings. So this is probably the most robust, and really if I had to choose a most important section, it's this one within the Member Information Center to have filled out. So I'm going to take you back to the front page of the website before I get into that and show you a little more. So on this member directory listing, this is an example of a fully filled out listing. So when you click on our Chamber of Commerce as a business in the directory, you get this About tab here where we talk a little bit about who we are. Our highlights section has some additional links. So maybe somebody wants to see our job board or calendar. For you, maybe you have some additional products or a marketplace that you want to link them out to. This is a place to put those. There's a media section here that allows you to have a YouTube video. And one of my favorite parts is that it plays directly on here. It's not going to link them out. It's just going to start playing. So there's this YouTube video you can upload, and then you have the option to fill an entire carousel of photos down here. In this news section will be any of the marketing that you've put on our website. So we have a hot deal. If you have a news release, anything like that, it'll show here. I showed you the representative info showing, and then the last tab is the map. So it links in with Google Maps. You can choose a different map, which I'll show you those settings, but we've chosen Google. And then we put a little blurb on how to find our building. We've also got our social media links to our business, and then it links to our website over here. So this is what really a complete listing can look like when someone's searching for you. I really impress this hard upon businesses that don't have websites, so that there is a spot where people are landing on the internet. Because sometimes people want a little bit more than just a Facebook page. So this can be a really great tool for those without websites, and for those with, it's just more information out in the world about you. So I'll come back to this company information now that you've seen what I'm talking about. It'll be a little bit easier to understand what you're filling out, I think, once you've seen it. So this first section, your profile summary, is a really handy tool because it shows you what options you still have left. So our profile is completely filled out, but if there were sections we hadn't done, say we didn't have our hours of operation up or we hadn't filled in keywords, there'd be a red X right there notifying us that that was still available to be filled out. So you can check that to see how far you've come or really what options you have left to use. So this organizational information section is a section that you really want to make sure is accurate. So this is going to show on the website. This is also really helpful for the chamber for it to be accurate as well, so that we can get a hold of you. When we send referrals, when we have calls into our office and we refer people to businesses and put it through our system, it's using the contact info here. So it's making those customer referrals easier to find you. It's an important section. So you'll want to kind of just fill out the demographic information about your business. And then there's some additional information down here that we like to have just to know a little bit more. So you have your full-time and part-time employees here. And when we report out the number of employees we represent, this just allows us to be more accurate with it and allows us to keep your billing accurate. And then this established date is a really fun one. And actually, here's something we have missed. It says that our profile is complete, but it's not. So I could go in here and I could say, Chamber was founded on September 14th, not of 2019, of 1899. So I could save that then to my profile. Just good information for us to have to know when your business anniversaries are, things like that. So there's your basic information. In the Employees tab, this is where I talked about having different settings for your employees or for different members of your organization. This is where you can see and manage that. So if you're the primary representative, you have the ability to take people in and out and control who's in here. If you're not the primary representative, you're not going to have that power. So you aren't going to get into people deleting other people's accounts. So I have an example here of one that we'd want to delete. So here I've got our employees of the chamber in here, and then I have this past employee, our chief helpful guy, who's no longer with us. So say I want to update that. It's really easy to deactivate a rep in your account. You just click on that checkbox by the name and hit deactivate selected representatives. It's going to say, are you sure? Really easy. And then it's going to load and take them out. So if there's anybody that's no longer with your organization, you can make sure to keep this up to date as far as who you want to have access. The website information. So this is where we start to fill out that directory profile that I showed you on the front end. So there's preview buttons throughout it so you can see what you're doing and what you're filling out. This first section, it'll allow you to populate from the information you already filled out, just the basics of your business. We've got some social networks here that you're able to upload, description, hours, all of the information. So you just type those into the boxes, really simple. The highlight section, I showed you those links, so you'll want to put the text you want to show along with the link. And if you're ever concerned that a link's not working, you can hit that verify button and it'll shoot out and test it for you. The last section on here is by far the most important section. If I had fireworks, I would turn them on right now. Do this section. So the keyword section, so our entire website is search engine optimized, which was part of the upgrade we did when we launched the Member Information Center. The keywords that are listed here are what Google's using to search our website and find your business on our site. So you want to make sure to fill these out. The really nice thing is that they're completely unlimited. So if you want to list every single service you have in there, say you're a finance firm and you want to put tax, accounting, bookkeeping, accounts payable, accounts receivable, you can go forever. So put as many keywords in there as possible. Anything that you'd want to pop up in when someone's Googling for your type of services, put them in that box. And we've seen really good results from this. So one of the beauties of search engine optimization is that Google especially is looking for trusted sources when it's searching the web. It doesn't want to send you to fraudulent sites. And Google has chambers of commerce marked as a trusted source because they know that it's not fake information. They know that it's not advertising based. So they've flagged those sites as being trusted. So when your keywords are coming from our site, it's going to help improve your listing. When we were first piloting this, we had a member that was on page 2 of Google, and they had tried and tried and tried to get to page 1. And we had them try it. We said, okay, fill out all the keywords. Let's see what happens halfway up page 1. So can't guarantee that that'll be the result for everyone. Obviously, your Google results vary for many reasons, but this will certainly help. So make sure that that's filled out. It's a free tool. That's great advertising for you. And then the last section in your member, not the last section at all, just kidding. So the next section is your categories. So I showed you on the front page here, actually go back a little bit. So when people are on our website deciding how they want to search for businesses, these are the categories they can search in. They're all hyperlinked, so they can click the large overarching category, or they can click in and choose even a little bit deeper. So there's many options there. These are where you choose what you show up under. So our chamber profile is showing up only under business services, and we have it set as our primary category. You can choose up to 3 categories to show up in. So you'll want to go through here and just take a look. They're alphabetical, so it should be pretty easy to find. Let's say you want to show up under banks. You just want to click that check box, scroll all the way to the bottom, and hit save when you get there. So pretty simple. I'm not going to save that because we're not a bank. So the categories, so that's what you're searching under. Additional information just has a little bit of additional demographic information about your business. So when people are searching, they can also search by these fields. So let me bring you back again here. So let's say I'm looking for a plumber. Okay, I'm doing something wrong. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. You should be able to search by those fields, but it'll also tell people what you have available. So if you accept volunteers by checking that box, they'll be able to narrow the search to say, I'm looking for a place that accepts volunteers. So there's a number of different fields in here that you can fill out. Also just good information for us to have, especially in the different times of year that we recognize different types of business owners or different types of businesses. So having these filled out is very helpful. The logo section allows you to upload several different types of images. You can have your search icon here, which is what pops up in those search results, and then the logo that you want on your profile. You can also do a page header on your directory listing. So some options there. Those are pretty simple uploads. And then same with the photos and the videos. So this is where you create your carousel. When you click that Manage Gallery button, it'll let you take photos in and out. You can only have one video, so you'll want to choose wisely. You just paste the YouTube link here. It's very simple. And then the map section, I told you this is where you could choose. So we have ours set to Google Maps. If you have maybe an image, maybe you have a campus style location and you have a map that you prefer to show people of the campus, you can always click Uploaded Map and upload an image and then allow it to show on the directory. And the last little button I want to show you in here is actually a really cool feature that you can utilize. So it's really a digital chamber sticker. So I know we all have the window clings on our front doors that say member of the chamber. This is a way to show it digitally. So it'll generate this for you with our logo and your name. And you just hit this generate button and the website's going to generate the code for you to put that maybe in the header or the footer of your website. So a cool little tool. Okay, and then the last section in the settings here is going to be billing. For any of the people that are managing the billing, this is a good section to be able to set up your payment profiles if you want to save a credit card or set up an ACH and tell us that that's coming. You can see any open invoices, make payments, and then transaction history is on here as well if you need to go back and see a past invoice. And just a note on this, that I like to make sure to plug is on our billing, all of the payment types are securely saved and all of the transactions are securely encrypted. So you can rest easy knowing that that's on there. Okay, so part 2, as promised, we're moving into the marketing tools here. So up along the top, what you'll do is hit the news section, and this is really where all of the marketing tools within the Member Information Center live. They all operate very similarly, so once you've learned how to manage or upload one, you've pretty much learned how to manage all of them. So we'll start with our hot deals and our member-to-member deals. So these are very similar, they just show in different places. So the hot deals are promotions, sales, coupons, deals that are available to anyone in the community, anybody that can find it online, you're okay with them using it. So, and then the difference is member-to-member deals, very much like the name, is for only other members. And as a result, those are only going to show in the Member Information Center where other members can find them. So if you are maybe a business-to-business company, that's a really great tool to use. And even if you're not, I've seen that used well as well. All of the sections in this marketing section also show on our website. So just kind of a high level to show you here. The hot deals are their own tab. News releases are a tab, job postings. So it's all going to show out to the website and to the public. So here's what that page looks like. So in the hot deals or member to member, so you've got two options here at the top. You've got add deal or manage deal. So when you click into add the deal, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to create your tagline, your header. The thing that I want to make this category here is your business category. So you're only going to have your categories to choose from. And then you'll be able to add any text, a photo. Important part here to do is your end date and your start date. So if you have a coupon that goes till the 30th, you want to make sure that you cut it off on that day. And then you've got some room for contact information and when you want it to publish on the website. So pretty easy to fill out. Once you're done, you'll hit submit for approval, and that's going to come to our chamber office. So we check all of them and then approve them before they go out to the website, just to make sure that there's nothing crazy ending up online, and just to kind of do a quality check there. So it usually only takes a couple days and oftentimes much less to get that approved, but just allow yourself a little wiggle room when you do it. So once you hit submit, it'll show up in the deals you can manage. So when you hit manage deals, even if it's pending approval, it's going to show up here for you. So you'll be able to see a preview of it, the status, the date. And when you have deals that are active, if you just click on that blue title of them, it'll look the exact same as when you uploaded it, and you'll be able to come in and edit anything at any time and just save your changes. So pretty simple process. All of these tools are really going to reflect the same process. So member-to-member deals are going to be the exact same way. Same as news releases. With news releases, these can be a formal press release, or they can be really just a blurb that you wrote maybe to share something going on in your business. Another great thing about these news releases is that we repurpose them. So in our quarterly business beat at the end of the quarter, Kelsey, our marketing and member engagement manager, is going to come through here and pull all of the articles and news releases that our members have updated and put it in that publication. So you'll get some double visibility out of it. When you add a news release, one section that's a little different to point out is the categories. So you'll want to choose a category for your news release here. Out on the front page of the website, people can click on these categories and say, I want to see news releases for community or for education. So it just makes it's another search function to make sure you've filled that out. Job postings, again, very similar. When you add a job posting to our website, there's a little bit of extra functionality that I think is really nice. So you can link it out to any site you want. So let's just take a look here at Carl Sandburg College's position, for example. So they've got their description on here. They've got the contact for the position, and it's just a general one here. You can make it a specific person if you want. And then they've got this visit website button. So say you want everyone to apply on Indeed, you just link it to Indeed when you set it up. Really simple. So no applications are going to come through the chamber. It's really an advertisement for your job posting. So when I click on that, it's going to take me right out. Carl Sandburg has it linked to their HR site to apply. And then send email, same thing. So they have an email that they've put in with the listing for people to email any questions to. When I click that button, it's going to pull the email right up for me. Another really nice search function is maybe I've looked at this job at Carl Sandburg and I say, well, this position's not right for me, but I can hit more jobs and see any other positions that they have available as well. So those are all no-cost functions within the Member Information Center. They're included for you as members that really encourage you to be using just and having things more places. That last button there is the social feed, which will take you back homepage that we showed you before. So one other marketing tool that there isn't a button for in here that is available is the website ads. So throughout our website, you've probably noticed them in a few different places. So I'll show you out on the front here. When I go to the job postings, you notice that there's this little banner ad right there for our guide to Greater Galesburg. So those are available throughout the website if you're interested in purchasing banner ads. You can't set them up on the front end yourself, but if you reach out to us, Kelsey will be able to work one-on-one with you to be able to set up that process. So let us know if that's of interest. So coming back into the Member Information Center, there's just a few other tabs along the top. I won't be nearly as detailed with these, but I want to make sure you know they're there. So I'll just work my way back towards the home page. This first one is the Reports tab. So especially if you are using the features within here, it's really nice to be able to get in and see the results. So it's a very interactive page. This page has not been online very long, so actually it doesn't have too bad of numbers for it. In the past when we've showed this, it's always been all zeros because our page has not been shown. So we put it online for you for this webinar to see what would happen. So it'll show you your total views and impressions at the top. Any of these blue numbers, you can click in and see further reports. So for example, I'll click on the member page views. This is one I think is really cool. When you click on it, it gets really detailed, so you can see what dates your page was viewed and you can see what pages they were viewing you from. So whether you were coming up in a search, was it mobile, whether or not they clicked through on your links, you can see all of that. And any of the marketing features that you're using as well, you'll get analytics back on. So here I created a hot deal. It's got a few views. I'm guessing a couple of you have peeked at it while we were looking today. So you can see those. I don't have any job postings up, but that would show there as well. So those are always available to you. You can get in there and pull them at any time. And as you saw in those charts, you can look back at past results as well. The Resources tab has lots of information in it about the chamber, things happening in the legislative world. It also has some professional development in it. So when you come in here, it's very easy to search through. There's a search box to find really anything you'd want. This section is locked off to members, so this isn't out on the front of our website or anywhere else. These webinars are in here for you guys to find and different resources. Now, if you're in your Member Information Center right now, the checkboxes you have in these categories might look a little different than mine, only because when you're part of different niche groups at the Chamber, some of them have specific categories and files. So for example, the Young Professionals Network, if you're a member of that network, you'll find yourself able to access some of the files here. So here there's a link out to the Facebook group for them. If you're a member of the nonprofit network, there's some additional file sharing for nonprofit businesses to look at. So these may differ a little bit based on what groups you're involved in through the Chamber. This webinar section is kind of a cool one. So there's a past webinar we've done that you can look back at and view. If you missed the how to market your business with your membership, you can grab that link right there. And then several others from partner organizations and from other business associations that you can grab and view through the Chamber. The Events tab here is another spot where you're able to add to the Chamber. So really is kind of another marketing tool, but it's just a different section. So if you have an event coming up, same buttons that you've seen, these are probably looking really familiar now. You can hit Add Event, or you can manage your events and put the information in. So you'll be able to see here, you can look calendar view or just scroll through the events that other members are having and the Chamber events. You can also filter them here. So if you want to see just Chamber events and you click that featured, you're going to see Business After Hours, Chamber 101, today's event was on there before as well. You can also up here manage your registrations. So if you've registered for chamber events, it would pop up here. I'm not registered for anything right now, so it's telling me, sorry, you've got nothing. But I can also look back and see what I've done in the past. So especially if you are someone who's maybe tracking your professional development hours for your employer or a certification even, and you need to look back and see what you've done, you can look back and see those registrations. You could also pull an invoice from them. It makes it really simple to look back. And then this directory feature. So I talked at the beginning about different information showing internally in the MIC and externally on our website. So let me just show you an example of that. Here, when I click on the chamber, it's going to look very similar to what you saw out on the front page of the website, excluding a couple tabs. Let me move this out of our way. So a little difference in our reps tab, like I showed you, there's a little bit of additional information. So if you want to show additional information to members, this is where you can do it, or show additional representatives. So it makes it a nice feature of membership that you have access to some extra info. And then the reviews tab is another one. So this does end up showing out on the website once you do it, but if you have a really great experience with another chamber member, this is a great place for you to go in and say, hey, Landmark, 5 stars, my dinner was awesome, and that'll show out on the website when people look at them as well. So that brings us to the end of our tour here. Yes. So on this homepage, Kelsey just pointed out that I missed a little bit of our homepage tour here, so not quite done. So in this links over here, there's also just some helpful links that you can grab. This takes you out to the chamber website. There's some community information here, community calendar. If you're ever looking for our social media, you can grab our LinkedIn or Facebook from right there. But one link you may want to be aware of, we launched our chamber referral program this summer. So if you have a member that you want to refer to the chamber, there's an incentive for you for doing that. You can click that form right there. If there's ever links or information you're looking for the chamber, let us know. So we try and keep things that it seems like people recurrently look for right there in those quick links, very accessible.